We can't help the way that we feel, and whether we know it or not, there's a reason somewhere. I remember when my daughter was a baby, maybe 6 months old, and my husband and I were trying our best to make ends meet. Childcare was really expensive. His mom was retired but lived out of state, and my mom was still working full time. We were in that window of we truly could not afford to pay for childcare, but also didn't qualify for any kind of benefit or discount. So it worked out where my mom would come to our house on Friday and Saturday nights and babysit while I was working the night shift in my home office and my husband was at his job. She would drive around 45 minutes, both ways, at least 2 days in a row. She would pick up dinner, she would bring diapers and random gifts. She really did go out of her way to help us as much as she absolutely could. And I know she was still working 40 hours a week and was doing all of this because gifts and acts of service are her love language. I am her daughter, this is her granddaughter, and she wanted to support my family. But within this, and knowing how I should feel, that I should be grateful that this woman, who probably might not even like me, is going this much out of her way to support my family, to be there for us, to build a relationship with her granddaughter, and to support our marriage. Everyone involved in this situation thought they were doing the right thing, and we were all doing our very best. And it was not going well. But we were all really trying. And I kept telling her, I know how I should feel, but that's not how I feel. And what I really felt was, I wish I was rich enough to never let you see my baby again and just pay for childcare because of the way that you're bulldozing my boundaries. Even with all the love, support, time, everything good and right that she was doing for me, I still could not get past the hurt and anger and helplessness that I felt. I've mentioned more than once, I don't post my child online for reasons of safety and privacy, and it's actually no one's business and doesn't have to be justified. But my husband and I decided together, we're not going to put her online. And while my mother was babysitting, that's exactly what she was doing. She was posting my child on Facebook, she was taking photos while I was working, and sending them freely to family and friends online. When I confronted her about it, she said, "But you don't share her." And as her mother, that's my choice. And just because you trust all of these people in your family doesn't mean that I do. And it doesn't mean that I didn't encounter things that you don't know about. There are certain people in my family that I don't want to be around for reasons you don't know about and reasons I will never have my child around them. And I had such a hard time at this point, and all I wanted was to protect my baby. Another aspect of having my mother as a babysitter is I didn't have to worry about my child being loved or safe. And they were in my home, so she wasn't going to be around any people I didn't approve of. So she would give and give and give and give, but then also thought that that gave her the right to just bypass a boundary, bulldoze right fucking over it. And that was my issue. when I was telling her, I know I feel this way, but instead I feel this other way, the opposite way, I'm not thankful and grateful. I'm angry and helpless. I personally, truly, and honestly feel that this is why so many people go no contact with parents. The boundary bulldozing is wild. And now that I've had time alone to learn more about accepting who I am, I realize that this is common with a lot of relationships. People think that because they give you this one thing, they automatically have the right to this other thing that's beyond a boundary. And I know that you absolutely knew that that boundary was there when you crossed it. If I take the time to explain a boundary to you and you instantly give it no regard, choosing to just do what you want, I can't respect you. I can't have positive feelings toward you. You are hurting me by not respecting the boundary. Luckily for me, my boundaries have finally been accepted for my mother, but it took years of proving I am an independent, strong, resilient, and good mom myself. I don't know what changed or when, but I am grateful that it did, and I feel loved by her in the present. If you have to disconnect and go no contact with your parents or anyone you encounter, I understand why. They might not, and some others might not, but I understand that at times, the only way to protect our boundaries is to walk away from the people that constantly cross them. If you have to do this at any point, I send you love and support and wish you the strength that you need to stand tall and firm in your values. Spend your energy on those that support you. Nobody deserves to be bulldozed over. I am love. We are love. Namaste.